Hello and welcome to the Long View with me, Jon Jordan. Today we're looking at Assassin's Creed Rebellion from Ubisoft, which is currently in soft launch. It's a game I've been enjoying to a degree but kind of struggling with as well. But there's been a nice update which has changed a few things and made it, I think, a bit more friendly for mobile gaming. So let's go and have a look at the missions, which will show you what's going on. So I've been doing some missions. I'm not incredibly leveled up in the game, but there are these different options now. So there's loot missions, standard missions, legacy missions. I'm not entirely sure what they all are. You get different rewards, really, I think. So let's go in, and we can see here that the new option here now is for this legacy mission is I can rush it. So let's hit rush. Select my team. Tapping on them, and then I rush it. What happens? There we go. Interesting. So I get my reward straight away. So this is something that's pretty, I guess, standard in many squad-based RPGs, which is really what Assassin's Creed Rebellion is. So you have the RPG elements of different characters that you're leveling up and using resources and gear systems, all that kind of stuff. But then you're combining them and their different attributes into squad to go and do things. So having a rush, effectively an instant mission, is nice because you get rewards quickly, but also particularly for shards when you're trying to. So this one I just got a shard for Angelica Cardillo. So collecting shards, I still can't kind of summon her or create her because I need 2 more to get the 15 I need. But these missions, these rush missions, are quite a good way of doing that. It's interesting that because there's not an energy system. Oh, there is an energy system. I'm going to say so it's created by an energy system. So that means you just can't keep doing it, I assume. But again, I can rush this one. Let's see. Now I've only got 2. That's interesting. So when you do rush, the other thing to point out, actually, when you do rush these rush missions, your characters do lose some health. So you can see here I had Agula, who's kind of my main character, or kind of the one you get very early on, I guess the kind of typical Assassin's Creed type character. He's now dropped in health, so he can't actually do this rush mode. I don't know if I can do it with 2. Let's see. So I'm only choosing 2 in my team, and it's not going to let me do it. Okay, so I can't. So that's a way of limiting it as well. So I can't do that, but let's see if I can do something else. So let's go and do another mission. Let's do one where hopefully I won't get too bashed. Try this one. Okay, so here's a legacy mission. I'm just going to play it like normal. So here we go. Here's my squad. I can edit my team. You can see different power. We can see actually at the bottom it's going to be when they're all of these have low health, so I may not make it through. We'll have to see. And yeah, so those rush missions I don't think did use the energy system, but this one here is going to say at the bottom right it's going to use 10 of these kind of envelopes, sealed envelopes. I've got 26, so I can do that. So off we go to do the mission. Now normally up to this point what you had to do was do this manually, but now interestingly Ubisoft has added, see down the bottom here, there's a speed up, so I can play it at twice speed, 3 times speed, or normal speed, and there's an auto button. Now the auto button is interesting here because what you typically had to do in this game, or what you do in this game, is you look at the room. So it's kind of this room-based thing. Actually, it's developed by a Canadian company called Behaviour, who also did the Fallout Shelter game. It looks a bit like Fallout Shelter, doesn't it? So what you do is you look to see who the enemy is, and then if I'm doing it manually, you can see here I've got a manual button. I can throw knives, and then I go in and we have this kind of battle. But I can autoplay this now, so that kind of makes sense because you don't have many options really when you're doing the battle. If I come off autoplay here and you just have these 2, basically. The purple button is a special move, so some characters have more than one special move, which is on a timer countdown when you use it, and then just a button to press for the basic move. So we can see, you're not gaining very much really. So playing this autoplay, actually, there you go, it's finished her off. We can take auto off. So once we've finished one room, then the other two members of the squad appear at the door again, and you choose which one. So it's interesting here. So I can see there's an 80% chance I can do my assassin's move on this guy. If I choose this other character, Tariq, he's not got that kind of move, an assassin move, so he doesn't get that option. And then a 63% chance with Maximo, who is again has an assassin type move as well, but not as good as Aguila. So what we can do here is I'll put it on Tariq, and then just hit auto and speed it up. So he didn't even go in that room; he went into a different room. So he bashed the chest and got some rewards, and now you can just see this thing's going very fast now. Now some people, I guess some people who are critical of autoplay, and I guess it's interesting because this wasn't in the original game from Ubisoft. That Ubisoft, I guess, maybe thought about doing autoplay and then thought we'll put it in soft launch without autoplay. And you do lose something, but the whole point of all these free-to-play mobile games where you're spending a lot of time grinding stuff out and you're playing these missions was these were very long missions to do. And the reason that I didn't play this game as much as I maybe would have liked to is it just took a long time to play every mission. Having autoplay is something in the games that I play a lot of, say Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or Marvel Strike Force, or any squad-based RPGs, just has autoplay in it. You don't have to use it all the time, and for certain missions you might not want to use autoplay. You might want to use very specific kind of moves, and autoplay is generally, the AI is not as good as you are in most cases, but in most cases it's good enough, and if you get really stuck you might go in and try and do a mission manually. I'm going to lose this one probably. But autoplay is just, it means you can do other things. It means certainly you're going 3 times faster. Oh, we just made it. Well done. The interesting thing here is this is kind of quite a more complex kind of autoplay type scenario where you're not just in a squad and the characters in the squad are choosing what moves to make, what skills to use, and when. This is much more kind of complex in terms of the AI because you're choosing between 3 characters, all of whom have different moves and different kind of health states, and you only use one at a time. Obviously, if one dies, the next one just comes in, so it doesn't really matter that much. But it's a more complex AI kind of scenario, so harder to get right. But I do think because this is, the characters are really nice, really cute, and they have these really horrible kind of brutal moves. I do quite like auto. I find it quite interesting on autoplay just to watch it really, because I didn't really feel in this game I was making very important. We're going to lose here. That was a big tank. I didn't think I was making very many important decisions. Oh, assassin move, clever boy. I wasn't making very important decisions in the outcome of the game, so I don't feel like I've lost very much in passing this over to the AI. Now I think at this point, are we going to make it? So we had to do 2 tampering with evidences, so I may have just completed it. Yeah, 18 health. There we go. That was good. So mission completed. So again, get some rewards. Effectively these are shards again, and some other rewards. So there's other things you can do like making gear. This is actually quite a complex game, which is why I haven't really got to grips with it as much as I would like to have done. But I really did think while there was a strong meta game in it, which again is just actually a little bit slow and confusing. So I'm not saying this game is out of the woods yet, but having this kind of autoplay option for the gameplay is, I think, as much as purists would hate this statement and disagree with it, is I think super important for a free-to-play mobile game where you want it to go very wide and have a broad audience. Because the other thing with these kind of games is, you want people to be playing more than one mobile game at once. I think that's really what developers have to think about. How can I have to assume people who are going to play my game are already playing and heavily involved with at least 1 or 2 other games. So how can I make it easy for them to add my game into the kind of list of games they play daily or on a weekly basis? And having stuff like autoplay and having the ability to grind with these rush missions is, I think, very, very important. Very quickly kind of show you a little bit of the game. So a bit of the game here is we have these rooms slowly kind of building out this kind of base, which is nice, where you have different things. So here's the armor smith, the weaponsmith. You have a treasury, intelligence. Not entirely sure what intelligence does, to be honest. A ceremonial room where you level up. Living quarters where effectively you regain health. And this is a little bit finicky to interact with, actually, I find. Then here we've got the living quarters extension, so you can have more people, storage room, and there we go. He's just been leveled up. And obviously some more things to build. Can I build anything at the moment? No, but there's other things when I level up. I'm level 9 at the moment. When I get to level 10, I can do a library. Quite what a library does. What does it do? I can research hidden knowledge. Okay, so there is kind of a lot of metagame in here. I think the pace is too slow. I also think the unlocking of heroes is super slow. And maybe that's something that will come out when you have these instant missions. So I've been playing the game, let's say not certainly every day, but playing it fairly regularly. And I've unlocked. I've got 5 characters. I think you get one to begin with. So I've effectively unlocked 4 characters. There's all these characters that I'm not really very close to unlocking. Now these characters are kind of generic. It's not, obviously it's not a Marvel game or a Star Wars game or something like that. So it doesn't really matter. But they have Ubisoft have thought, I think, a lot about the different characteristics of these characters. See if I can do it here. So you have these very complex profile. You can see, so this guy's good in assassination, navigation, a bit of support, skills. You have all this kind of complex stuff. And each character has a slightly different profile. So Maximo is kind of an assassin, and he's more. Doesn't really have the kind of support elements in the same way. Not really support. It's but he's very focused on the assassination side of things. Okay, so Tariq is much more on the tank kind of side of things. We have Hamid, who's a support character who has this disarm, can disarm traps, and then there's Isabel, who has the kind of heal type character, but she's also stealthy. So this is quite complex. Set up for each character, so you can, you really want to have a lot of characters to kind of really mix and match that. But it's been very slow to open that up. So hopefully that will come as well. Let me see here. So this guy who I haven't unlocked is, so he's got really good navigation. He's a free runner, but he's also can stun enemies and has a bit of kind of lock picking abilities as well. So anyway, there's definitely a lot in this game. They've thought kind of heavily about it, which is what you'd expect. Assassin's Creed is obviously a very strong console brand, and I imagine Ubisoft wants something to kind of really highlight the depth of the game. It doesn't want to make just a very lightweight free-to-play mobile game. But having autoplay, super important. So a good move there from Ubisoft and Behaviour. Looking forward to this one coming out and seeing what happens. Ubisoft hasn't been particularly successful with its kind of big console games coming to mobile, and has done a few Assassin's Creed type games, but they've been not been very well designed for free-to-play. So hopefully this one will be a bit different. This is The Long View. Thanks for watching. We do videos about free-to-play mobile games, particularly about ones in soft launch, to get ahead of the game. So you might find out a bit about games that aren't actually out in your country yet. And we do videos about things we like, design things we like, sometimes things we don't like as well. So if you're into mobile games, don't forget to subscribe. But thanks for watching this video, and hope to see you again soon.